I did also interview her about her community first responder role. We are very pushed for time this evening, but fortunately for me, I have a lovely man who's come into the studio who is her fellow community first responder, Peter Lovett of Canvey Island. Welcome to BBC Essex.
Thanks very much. Good evening to you.
Lovely to have you in. Now, am I right in thinking that on an island, being a community first responder does take on quite a lot of importance because you've got not always the best access and you are an island, so roles like yours are going to be really significant?
It is very significant to the island because, as you say, we've got restricted roads and that can get very, very busy. And for emergency vehicles coming on can get delayed. So our role is quite important on Canvey.
How did you end up getting involved with the community first responders, Peter?
Well, basically, I was at work and I'd received a phone call from my daughter to say that she'd taken some medication, penicillin, and she'd had an allergic reaction and she couldn't breathe and she was struggling a bit. So I initially said to her, right, okay, you need to phone 999, open the street door and someone come. I rushed to get round there as soon as I could, and when I got there was a first responder there, Leslie, and she was talking to my daughter. A paramedic had just arrived at the same time and they worked very well together. Anyway, a few days later I was talking to my daughter and I said, what's this first responder all about? And she said it was brilliant. She said she came in and calmed her down and helped her relax. She said as soon as she walked through the door I just felt a weight off my shoulder because she had a 6-month old baby there at the time as well. And she told me a bit more about it and how she assisted the paramedic. And I thought to myself, well, I'm coming up to retirement, I'm looking for voluntary work and a voluntary role. I think this would suit me. So I've done some research and went, yep, I could do this. And just went from there, contacted the coordinator and it just moved forward. And here I am.
And that's about 2 years ago, wasn't it?
About 2 years ago, yeah.
Doing that role. I was hearing that you get called out to Category 1 and Category 2 incidents. So this is really pretty serious stuff that you can be attending.
It can be serious stuff, yeah, especially if you've got a cardiac arrest. You can't get much more serious than that.
And it is one of the largest first responder groups in Essex, is my understanding. About 20 or so people working on the island.
There are quite a few of us. So I'm not sure the exact number, but it is about 18, 20 of us that in the group.
What sort of difference do you think that your role has made, Peter, you personally? Because I know you were saying you got into it because of the experience you had with your daughter. But in terms of the things you've been out to, what sort of people have you met and have you made a difference, do you think?
Well, I think as a group, we've definitely made a difference to the island. There's no arguments about that. As far as me individually, you're there to support the community.
Yeah.
And I'm available if a Category 1, Category 2 comes in. As traffic committing, we fight our way through and get to that patient, in most cases before the ambulance arrives, so we can assist the patient and do what needs to be done and reassure them, really, because a lot of it, when you get there, they're in a state of panic because they don't know what to do. So with us being there, it does help the situation a bit more relaxed. And when the crew do arrive, it's all ready for them to do what they need to do.
And is it, if you do choose to get involved with this and do the voluntary position as you do, is it shift work? Are you on call? Do you use your own car, or are you sort of trained up and then sent out in a group vehicle?
Basically, the way it works is there is a calendar that's issued once a month, and we put our own preferences, days or evenings that we want to work. We complete this calendar on a voluntary basis. We're lucky we have a car that's being sponsored by business groups on the island, and that's parked at our hub. So we go to that and pick the vehicle up and check our equipment. As far as the hours, say, it is voluntary, but one problem we do have is the nights. Unfortunately, because people are working, they can't cover the night shift because of having to do the go to work.
Yeah.
But we do have a good ratio of cover. There's plenty of hours covered. I think some months I think the latest was about 360 hours in the month that was covered.
Uh-huh.
So it's quite, we make every effort to cover as much as we can, but we are limited because of the people that are working.
Yeah, and it's not your full-time job, is it?
No, it's not a full-time job.
In many cases alongside.
That's it, and you can't commit 7 days a week, but generally most people do at least 1 day a week, varying from a few hours a day up to 10, 12 hours a day.
What's the best thing for you then, Peter, about being a community first responder, do you think?
The best thing for me, I think you're doing something positive. You're appreciated on the island, and especially when you get a call and you go into that house, you can feel the tensions lift and it relaxes. So on a personal note, you get satisfaction knowing you're helping people.
Yeah, and you can't really put a price on that in that stressful situation, can you?
No, you can't.
It's just, and I suppose as well, have you been to people's houses who if they may, because it's a relatively close-knit community on Canvey. So
I've been to quite a few houses of people I've known. Some of them had quite a surprised look on their faces because they didn't know that I was doing what I was doing. Others have not heard of community first responders. But I've been to a few, and it's quite upsetting because you're dealing with a situation where it's a person you know very, very well, and you've got to try and put that to the back of your mind whilst you're doing what you need to do. So it can be difficult at times.
It can be a challenge, and it can be a comfort, I guess, at other times. If people listening to this on the island or anywhere in Essex are thinking, I'd quite like to get involved with this, what are the best ways of getting in touch? Because I've seen you've got a website and Facebook and all that sort of stuff.
It's been changed recently, so I'm not sure that the actual process, because it used to be that you would contact the coordinator of the island and they would do what needs to be done. But now you deal with the trust direct. But the best thing to do would be to go on our Facebook page and look at that, and there'll be information on that, but I can't be more specific than that because I'll be honest, I don't really know since it's been changed.
You're just too busy being part of it, Peter.
That's true, yeah.
You are just cracking on and helping people when needed. Thank you so much for coming to see us. It is a very worthwhile thing that you do. And how is your daughter now? Is she okay?
She's fine, 100%, thanks very much.
Excellent. Can't take penicillin, but aside from that, it's all right.
It's all okay.
Peter Lovett, thank you so much for coming in to see us here at BBC Essex this evening. You are listening to Jodie Halford. I have maybe two. We're going to do two final Canvey songs.